Hey there, welcome or welcome back. And a quick question for you. Are you stuck? Hmm. Well, I've been stuck all over the world. I've been stuck from the bottom of the metro in Moscow to the top of Table Mountain in South Africa and many places in between. But there's some principles about wherever we are when we're lost that I'd like to share with you. So stick around to talk about getting unstuck. Hey, I'm Leslie, and you're at Lost in Wonder, and I'm glad you're here. You see, around here, we look at getting lost as a good thing. Not getting lost in fear, but getting lost in wonder, curiosity. And this ties into getting stuck. I was kind of stuck trying to get this together, but I was also listening to a gentleman named Dan Coe and his thoughts on what it takes to change. So when you're done, not now, when you're done here, I'd recommend go and look that episode up on how to change, because one of the the first thing he talks about in this process is being curious. And I wholeheartedly agree. Being curious about being stuck, because being stuck involves pain. You don't have what you want, or you want what you don't have. So that's a pain point. And being stuck is that you're not where you want to be. You're somewhere that you didn't plan to be, or you got there by mistake, or did something stupid. We all get stuck. What can we do though when we get there and have that pain? Well, I tell you, something that I see as valuable is get curious, like I've already said, and start wondering what's possible. Well, my getting stuck experience that comes to mind was when I was living in Russia. I'd been there nearly a year. I'd been teaching, had a great time. I never thought I'd like Russia. It didn't cross my mind. That's another story, but I was there, living there and wrapping up my time pretty soon. But before I left, there was something on the calendar I'd never heard of or thought was normal, and it was closing the pipes. No hot water would be coming to my flat or anyone's flats or anyone's anywhere in Moscow over the summer for a certain period. It went for a week, maybe 10 days. So there I was, pain. I was stuck in my flat in the city without hot water for a week or two, maybe three. That was a painful point of being stuck. So I had some possibilities to look into. The pain helped push me to possibilities. I got curious in my pain and started looking, what's possible to do in a couple of weeks while my water isn't working? While these guys are working on pipes, the rest of us have to figure out what to do without hot water. So I started looking at some possibilities, and I started looking into, hey, I love going into this different parts of the city and exploring and just staying in a hostel and enjoying the cafes, going to museums, getting to, oh, wait, all of Moscow is going to have hot water turned off. Okay, expand the possibilities. What if I could take the Trans-Siberian Railroad. I could travel all the way. That's a big trip. That might be more than I'm really ready to do. When else could I? So anyway, wrestled with that, but ended up tabling that idea and went for something a little less ambitious, and it got me to see other places besides Russia since I've been living there all that time. So, from the pain of no hot water to the possibility of doing some traveling, turned into a plan. And the plan was taking the train from the middle, Leningradskaya, I believe was the station, the one I usually arrived at from where I lived, getting there and taking the train straight to St. Petersburg. And from St. Petersburg, the train continued on to the Baltics. And if you don't know what that means, get a map, learn a little geography. The Baltics are beautiful, beautiful little countries. And then visit those countries and continue and made a big loop and then finished up with a bus ride. It took a lot of finagling and figuring and researching, but that big plan was made up of those little decisions. So don't get weary when you feel the pain. Start getting curious. Start seeing the possibilities. Start making a plan. And not only did that hot water turn into me seeing some beautiful cities and meeting great people and doing walking tours and learning about the history and tasting amazing, all that. Not only did that hot water lead to that, but this was an extra bonus. On my birthday, I woke up in Tallinn and left my hostel, crossed the street, and got on a ferry and sailed across to Finland. Oh, isn't that fun? So on my birthday, I got to experience 2 different countries in one day. Never thought that not having hot water would turn into something like that, but it did. And that principle applies to wherever we are. It's not just for me in some far off place called Baltics. It's for each of us right now. So what are we looking at where we're stuck, where we have pain? Can we get curious? Can we wonder what's possible? What could happen instead of this pain? What is happening because of this pain that I could change? Change is painful, but we're made for that. Our brain is wired for it. Another person to go look up, Andrew Huberman. He has amazing videos to explain how our brain is designed for challenge. And I believe that's God's design. He made us to press in to difficulties because later on, good things come. We're meant to grow. We grow by challenge. It's uncomfortable, it's painful, but that's what we're made for. And who knows? Maybe it'll turn into a ferry ride to Finland. Hey, I hope you today can consider some of these things as ways to help you to get unstuck. And I have a book right over here. I wrote that, telling stories about getting lost in wonder all over the world. And it might just help you to be encouraged to see that there's a plan beyond yours, that God is faithful to lead us, that we are designed for adventure. We're designed to press forward, that until our last breath, our brain can be changed and rewired. So don't lose heart, don't lose hope. Get lost in wonder, not fear, not panic. Get lost in wonder. And we'll talk again real soon. Bye-bye.